Jim Jones's People's Temple back in the 60s.
Oh, wow.
And my mother had joined, and we moved out to California with him. And we lived in... my mom was building a bomb shelter in Ohio after the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And so when she went to his church, he said that in Indiana, he had predicted an atomic bomb was going to drop at some point, and the safest place would be California, and he had already checked it out and everything. That was why he moved out. But anyway, we went out, and at the time we went out, he even drove our car part ways. I mean, everybody went out at different times. They didn't go out by buses or anything like that because they mostly came from Indiana. But there were 5 cars at one time that went out, and
wow. So you knew Jim Jones. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, he drove our car. It was a Corvair, and he drove our car part ways when the brakes were going out, and my mom said we were going to have to stop at some place to get brakes, and he said, no, we have no time. So he says, I'll drive your car, and she let me drive it right in the back seat of that car. I mean, it's funny, later, and he just used the handbrake to go down mountains,
right.
Because
been there, done that. So surely is the point of your call to compare Jim Jones to Donald Trump, or did you?
Yes.
So tell us your thoughts on that.
His followers more than Jim Jones is, I think, a lot more intelligent than Trump is. Right. Trump is an idiot. But the followers were the same. You couldn't tell. My mom had a specific belief, about the bomb coming, but when she quit, he held a special meeting. He didn't want to lose her. She was very into Eastern philosophy and all, and she was one of the more intelligent people there. And when she quit, he held a meeting, and everybody had their go at her to tell her how ungrateful she was. And,
oh, really?
And all, and yeah, and I can remember it vividly. And I had a sister and brother too there, and so she said, "There's nothing more to say." And he says, "Now we haven't heard from the children." And I almost fainted. And he asked us, and I said, "I'll go with my mom."
Yeah.
But I thought all the way home that day, I mean, on the way back to our house, I thought we were going to get struck by lightning, and I was scared to death. I sat in the car, and I never told anybody else in the car, my sister, brother, and my mother. They all got out, and I thought, don't they know we're going to get struck by lightning?
Yeah.
And I thought she was making a mistake, but I wanted to leave, but I didn't want to leave.
Yeah, I get it.
We did have good friends from a long time that died in Guyana, and some of the original people that were out there.
Yeah.
And so it was. But anyway, those people, they're just like Trump supporters.
Well, they were willing to commit mass suicide because Big Daddy told them to, and I suspect that there are Trump followers who would do that. I mean, you could argue that that's what Ashley Babbitt did when she busted through that window after being told not to by a police officer with a gun.
Yeah. They just would do anything for him, and these people were really really good friends, and they all just, and nobody was allowed to talk to us. The kids at school and everything like that. Right. We were excommunicated. Well, we were already gone, but we had friends that came in later, and
remarkable stuff. Shirley, I'm out of time. I'm sorry, but thank you for sharing your story with us. It's marvelous.
Thank you.
And